Burnouts. As we all expected, a team in the East has won the NBA Cup. Congratulations to the New York Knicks. And while I'm far from a fan of the Knicks, it was nice to see an East team win a competitive game against a Western Conference team and to have the MVP, Jalen Brunson, give some credit to the East. The NBA Cup was without a doubt a success. The games were fun, the production was incredible, and people are starting to care more and more. We're only in year 3 of this thing. It's going to continue to evolve and to grow and hopefully just become a staple in this league. On this pod, we'll be recapping that game between the Spurs and the Knicks while also discussing a few league-wide topics that came from player interviews and from Adam Silver's interview. As far as Heat basketball goes, we played the Raptors. The Heat played the Raptors. They snapped their 4-game losing streak. The Raptors did. The Heat extended theirs to 5. We won't discuss it too much as we have another Heat game tonight, the first of a back-to-back and the first of 3 on this mini East Coast road trip. The injury bug is still bugging for us Heat fans, so we'll see how things shake out with these games. If you've made it this far into the intro, just please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, leave a 5-star rating and review. We're going to get into all the fun stuff and more after this. Let's do this thing. I am excited to be joined here today by a good friend of the pod, a good friend in general, Jorge Larrea. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Nice,
George?
bright and early, getting ready to pod.
Yes, sir. Bright and early. I mean, it's not even bright. It's just early right now. It's no sun out yet. It's like starting to peek its rear over the horizon. But we're doing this thing. We're recording here on a Thursday morning, and the last Heat game was on Tuesday. We do play again tonight, but something more pressing, something bigger in the NBA than just a regular Tuesday night Heat game happened. The NBA Cup, and a lot of stuff around the NBA Cup has taken place. So we'll first jump into that, and there's a bunch of stuff coming out of the game that I do want to talk about. But first, let's talk about the game itself. How did you feel about the game itself?
Primarily, I thought the Spurs would have a better chance. I really thought that Wemby would be able to take advantage of that, of just the defensive disadvantages of Karl Anthony Towns. But of course, as we might touch on it a little bit further, he lost his grandmother. So I kind of understand, how difficult that must be, that game. But I do want to say that Mike Brown has really changed New York. I was worried about New York and their identity due to I really like the defense, the defensive mindset of Tom Thibodeau. But obviously that didn't mesh with the roster and the personnel they have, because they have some defenders, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. But other than that, you don't really have like hardcore on-ball defenders, guys that you can really trust to play defense. So I really like Mike Brown's ability to change his team into like an offensive, not juggernaut, but they are playing very well. They're playing complementary basketball on both sides of the floor. I think they did a really good job of just minimizing everybody else in the game and letting Wemby do whatever Wemby wants to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think one of the biggest takeaways from the game, without a doubt, is Mike Brown. There was that decision that he made in the fourth to leave Tyler Kolek in and to even leave Jordan Clarkson in for extra minutes and have Mikal Bridges on the bench. And that takes a certain caliber of coach in terms of like the respect your players have for you. And I mean, Mikal Bridges is also just a great sport in general. He's not like a toxic teammate kind of guy, but if you're Mikal, he played 2 minutes and 49 seconds in the fourth quarter. You're expecting more than that typically. But to, Mike Brown's credit, Jordan Clarkson was cooking and Tyler Kolek was cooking and Mitchell Robinson. I mean, he's his own story altogether. In the fourth quarter by itself, Mitchell Robinson had 6 offensive rebounds. He had 10 offensive rebounds in the whole game and 15 rebounds in total. He is a monster on the board, even for Wemby. Just his size, in terms of like actual like weight, is just, I think, a little bit overpowering for Wemby at this point in his career. Definitely don't want to minimize the fact that after the game we did find out Wemby lost his grandmother that day, which truly, I mean, respect to him for even being able to play, because that's hard on any person, let alone someone his age, let alone knowing that, his family's probably not with him right now. He had talked about prior to the game how this would be his like first Christmas away from family and stuff. So that, yeah, just shout out to him. But regardless, I don't want to minimize what the Knicks did do in this game because they were playing
Yeah,
great.
Mitchell Robinson was really the X factor. His ability to be on the boards, continue to, especially in the fourth quarter, continue to give New York extra possessions, extra shot attempts, extra looks. Whether it be, oh, here we're gonna run a set, see how this works, and you get an offensive rebound, you can run it again or run a different play that was successful earlier. Mike Brown's doing a really good job, and kind of to your point, what you alluded to was he really likes to stick to the hot hand. Mike Brown does not like shy away from, oh, this guy's my 13th man. My 13th man has 25 points and it's the third quarter. He's going to stay in the game. And I really like that about Mike Brown because that's kind of how you win basketball games. You never want to really, you always want to put your best five out, but sometimes you got to have the hottest out. Sometimes you just need offense. And that's what Jordan Clarkson did. I mean, god dang. He does what he's always been doing his entire career, bro. Jacking
Yeah,
up shots, scoring buckets in volume, and just coming off the bench and being a spark. I mean, that was such an
craziest,
underrated pickup.
crazy. Yeah, it was truly. And the craziest thing, they said it on the broadcast. Dwayne Wade mentioned that he spoke to Jordan Clarkson and he told Wade that he doesn't stretch before he gets his reps in at the gym. He goes right from his car to the court and starts shooting. And that's to simulate the feeling of coming off the bench. Because, like, you could do all the warm ups you want,
Yeah.
but then you're on the bench for 12 minutes and then you have to get up and go play. So I thought that was a very interesting, like, just tidbit. And I mean, he looks like it. He hit a logo or near logo three in this game. And you're Jordan Clarkson. Like, you're not even the sixth man on this team. And you're feeling the confidence to do that, which, I mean, when they put him out there, when you have a player like Clarkson on your team, you want him to shoot the ball whenever he feels good. That's if he's not irrationally confident, then you're not
Yeah.
getting the right version of Jordan Clarkson for your team. That's why you want him to go out there and just try to score as much as he can. Um, there was a stat, or not a stat, more like just a tracker that I saw get posted the other day. Um, Offensive rebounds that have led directly to 3-point makes, players who've had the most of these. And so far going into the season, including that NBA Cup game, which is weird because that game gets erased from like any tracking records. But Mitchell Robinson had 14 offensive rebounds that have led to threes throughout this season. And the next highest player is Josh Hart with 13 offensive rebounds that have led to threes throughout the season. So they're crashing the boards heavy and oftentimes spraying out to somebody who can shoot because most of their, I mean, if you have Cat out there, if you have Bridges, Brunson, like all of these guys can kind of shoot the damn thing. So it's pretty nice for them to have. I will say too, and I want to give credit, while we're giving credit, OG Anunoby had a case to win MVP for the game. To be honest with you, like I'm not, there's no issue with Brunson winning it. Brunson was spectacular and was, as clutch as he usually is. But OG on defense, especially, and then going 5 for 10 from three, 10 of 17 from the field. He even had 3 assists himself. He had a block. I was
Yeah.
just incredibly impressed by OG Anunoby. I think he's
Yeah, I know he
maybe a
should have
little
definitely been
underrated.
the MVP, but I get it. They need to keep pushing the narrative that Jalen Brunson's a superstar, so they must continue to give him awards.
Yeah. Overall, like I understand why Brunson got what he got. He was clutch as per usual, but yeah, OG when you're considering the impact on both ends of the floor, I think was just incredible. His ability to guard 1 through 5, like he's incredibly strong. Obviously he can shoot the ball. I'm not mad again about Brunson winning it, but I was maybe a tad bit surprised that some more love didn't go to OG for this game itself. But to move on, unless there's any other Knicks players you kind of want to hit on. I mean, I think overall, like McCall
Oh,
didn't have the best game today, and Josh Hart is, Josh Hart steady
well, yeah,
always.
we got our own Josh Hart topic.
Yeah, yeah, we do. But I do want to give some credit to the Spurs because Wemby obviously didn't have the best game. He did have a very scary third quarter, scary in a good way, or if scary if you're rooting for Wemby. He went. That's when I thought maybe that it was over. Like if he was going to have a fourth quarter stretch, like his third quarter stretch, he went 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter, 2 for 2 from three. Uh, he had 12 points. He was looking very scary and very confident. But then when you switch to the fourth quarter, he went 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from three. Kind of looked like he was forcing some of those threes a little bit. Uh, but even aside from him, and that third quarter, like these young guys, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, what is it called? Dylan Harper, they look really good.
They do really look good, and as good as the young guys look, could you imagine Victor Wembanyama taking this many threes with Greg Popovich as a head coach? Oh my goodness.
No.
He would have been on the bench 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not 2 for 9. Oh, I can't get the right I'm trying to
Two
get the
two for
right
six.
2 for 6 from 3 point. Sorry. Bro, Wemby needs to get down low.
Yeah, it felt like he was forcing some of the threes.
If the Spurs are to ever win a championship, cool. I get that Wemby can dribble himself. But you're not 7'5" and like a 8 foot, 9 foot wingspan, and you're gonna stand outside. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have to go.
Yeah,
He
it's
has
like
to go down low. And of course, I get he had the thing with his grandma, so I'm not even counting this game against him. Guy was
yeah,
probably out there just playing, just doing
going through
whatever.
the motions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going through the motions. But legitimately, if San Antonio wants to extend his career, if they want him to have a nice career, if they want him to play long and actually be like as dominant as he's supposed to be, they got to put Victor Wembanyama down low. I just watching him like size people up and take threes. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that guy cannot post you up. There's no like, I don't think there's a guy in the league that can guard him in the post.
That's
Maybe a
that's the
couple.
th Yeah, I'm like, if he works on some of his post shots, like hook shots, even just like quick little like the KD size up from the mid range and just pull up, like
Just put the arm up. Like
yeah, the Dirk shot, like there's a few of those like that if he continues to get better at, because he's shown that he can hit the midi too. He can hit like the close range shots. It doesn't need to be like at the basket. But yeah, I think it's cool that he can space the floor. It's cool that he can shoot threes, but that shouldn't be the main facet of his game. I just, it doesn't really make the most sense for someone of his size. But especially when you have guys around you who can shoot from there. And, Harrison Barnes, feel bad for the guy. He was a good vet for the team and has been a good vet. He even had, despite shooting 0 for 4 from three today, he was +4. Um, it's funny, they call him Mr. 100 because he doesn't miss from the corner, but he was doing a whole lot of missing the other night. Vegas has not been good to him. I think someone said he's like 0 for 12 in Vegas or something from three. So, it happens. Any shooter will tell you like they can go through cold stretches and sometimes it happens at bad times. But yeah, man, I'm just really liking what I see from the young guys on this team, like Devin Vassell and Stephen Castle. Like their defense is so frustrating, and we saw it the way that they were able to defend SGA, and I mean even the way that they were making Brunson had to work for the shots that he was making. He's definitely crafty, and I think he initiates contact and uses his body in that way a little bit more than SGA. So I think that benefited him against younger players to be able to kind of maybe bounce them off their spot, like get physical with them. But it was still not a lot of stuff coming easy for him, which is,
No,
I
no.
mean, that's all you want. You can't necessarily blame those young guys for like Jordan Clarkson and Tyler Cole like going off and getting super hot. That's you know, things like
It
that
wasn't on
kind of
my bingo
happen.
card.
No, it was not on my bingo card at all. And this is we can move on a little bit. Still about the game, but the more I keep watching this, or the more I watched this, I was thinking to myself, in a way, in a way, this is good for the Heat because all the teams who have been involved in like the Giannis trade rumors have kind of given themselves more and more reason to maybe not trade for Giannis. Like if you're the Knicks right now, you're thinking, we just beat the Spurs in the NBA Cup. We're clicking on all cylinders finally. Like our defense is kind of picked up. We have the second best offense in the league. We've got our team. Like, do we really want to dump all our players for Giannis? If you're the Spurs, you're probably thinking, we've got some really great young players. Why would we accelerate the timeline so fast and have to get rid of one of these guys? Because you don't know what these guys might turn into, because if I'm the Bucks, I want Harper or I want Castle. That's like, period. And if I'm the Spurs, I don't know if I want to trade those guys. I might want to just see what happens. They might be the perfect players to build around with Wemby.
Unless it's Nico Harrison, Castle, Vassal, and freaking all
He'll
of them
trade
are
all three
gone.
of them, for honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Castle, Vassal, give me Harper, all of them. I need them all. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Thankfully,
So
Nico is not running
yeah,
the San Antonio Spurs. It would
yeah.
be
Greg
he might
Popovich is
just trade
gonna,
Wemby for Giannis. He might just he's like, no, we're not going to pair him up. We're just swapping them.
dude.
And
I'm sure the Spurs already called. I'm sure Greg Popovich called. He's like, what would you like? And they're like, hey, so we want your 3 guards. And he's like, you have a great
nope.
night.
Yep,
And hung
that's
up.
that's just
It's
not
like, dude,
happening.
they have what the Thunder had a couple years ago. They have a bunch of great pieces that are gonna mold into a great team. But sticking to the topic, actually, isn't it funny that one of the most unethical hoopers is actually Victor Wembanyama? Like
So
shooting threes as a 7-footer.
so that's I did want to look. I had a whole thing where I was really going to dig in on him about some of his pregame comments. I'm going to take it a little bit lighter. I do want to caveat it with I saw like the backlash on the internet saying, "Hey, you guys making fun of Wemby? You didn't even know his grandma passed." And it's like, okay, I understand, give him some grace, but he made those comments prior to his grandma passing, and I can still judge the comments. I'm not going to, insult his character or anything like that. He's a young man, but the little highbrow stuff he's been saying, this is an exact quote. In modern basketball, we see a lot of brands of basketball that don't offer much variety in dangers they propose to the opponents. Lots of isolation ball and sometimes kind of forced basketball. We try to propose a brand of basketball that could be described as more old school sometimes, the Spurs way as well. So it's tactically more correct basketball, in my opinion. And it's like, I'm just not a fan of the snooty highbrow. Like I know he was trying to like throw a jab at OKC because there's the unethical Hooper stuff, but it's like you guys aren't that ethical either.
Yeah.
You
I
have a
mean,
ton of isolation ball. They're top half in ISO rate in the league, and they're bottom 10 in passes made, not assists, but just passes. So they're not really you're not really passing the ball that much. Like it's not like you have this beautiful offense. Like they're just playing through you and you're a 7'5" unguardable guy. Like I don't know. I just just don't.
this guy thinks he went to China and he like completely changed. He's like Mao Zedong now. He's like a
Yeah.
great philosopher, like he ever since this picture, he's never been the
Oh yeah.
same.
It's never been the same.
It's never been the same. It's like this profound, and I get it. Look, there's nothing wrong with being a deep, but sometimes people try too much, right? Like when he came out, he's like, "Oh, I read books." And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's like
okay,
that's
if he
cool.
never says it again, then he really means it. He's never mentioned it again. So okay, I
Yeah.
get. But like, what are you talking about? Ethical basketball, brother? I'm watching a 7-footer take threes.
Yeah. Like it's
What? The game is gone. The game is gone.
yeah.
The basketball is done for. Like Stephen Curry really ruined the game accidentally. He's just so great that people really realize, like, yo, if we just shoot a bunch of threes, we're gonna mathematically outscore everybody.
You
The
know.
thing is, nobody can shoot like Steph Curry.
You know what's funny? And it's funny, especially when you apply it to Wemby. I think there's a stat that's going around. Because everything in life, in sports, in whatever is cyclical. People learn, people evolve. Like the 3-point evolution was a
Uh-huh.
product of the last 10 years, really. This is the first year, I believe, that first year in a long time that points per possession wise, so like the amount of times people are putting up threes compared to the amount of times that people are posting up, the post up has actually been more valuable. And part of this is because the players who do post up, like Jokic has the most post ups in the league by far, I believe. I'll double check that stat just now. But nonetheless, when you see that, you're like, hey, Wemby, maybe the post up is really good if the right player is posting up. Like, I don't want to see Steven Adams or Rudy Gobert try to make like a post up bucket. I mean, Steven Adams maybe can, but Rudy Gobert, I don't want to see him ISO posts up to try to do that.
I'm
But
gonna give you some names that points per possession score more in the post than Victor Wembanyama. And somebody tell me where the ethical basketball is.
oh no.
DeMar DeRozan, Cooper Flag, Santi Aldama, Sadiq Bey, Jaime Jaquez, Tobias Harris, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler. And obviously, this is just like, they probably don't post as much as Wemby does, but Wemby, even like in frequency wise, he's like one of the lowest big men in the league. How is that possible? You
Yeah, that
cannot
doesn't.
talk about ethics, and you're the most unethical big man in the league.
Yeah, so Wemby's frequency on the post up, I just checked, it's
15.
15.8% of his possessions. Yeah, and
That should
you're
be
looking at
45.
yeah, I mean, you're looking at Jokic is at 23, Kristaps 23.7, Zubac 28, Valanciunas 29, Zach Edey, who's been great, 32.8. Like, get that number a little bit higher, Wemby.
Uh,
Get the number just a little bit
yeah,
higher.
man. Like, especially, come on, man. 2 for 6. You should be 2 for 6 in the post every like
Yeah,
5 minutes. Like,
yeah,
and I
it's
get it.
easy
People can
enough.
double team him and stuff, but that's like the greatness of Jokic. Like, that's how
Yeah,
you become a great. That's the evolution of the big man. Back then, you should double team him in the post, and they couldn't really do anything. Shaq could kind of pass. Now you have Jokic, who you don't want to double team in the post because he's going to find the wide out.
yeah,
Wemby has to make that evolution because it's only going to make his career long. Like, he can dribble and stuff, but I challenge anyone to look at it and tell me it looks natural. Tell me it looks normal. Like
No,
Wembanyama should be doing that.
I think the hype maybe got to his head a little bit. Like, you have a great dribble for your size, and
Mhm.
you can do it, but you are not Allen Iverson.
Brother, you look like a Kevin Durant with 20 broken bones out there
Yeah, like
when you try to do the same moves that KD does, you know?
yeah, like,
And it's nothing against Wemby because he's gonna be a great player. But when you
oh,
make
for sure.
comments like that, you should play some ethical basketball before you start,
Yeah.
yourself, not your team. You personally should play ethical basketball before
M-
you judge
m-
unethical basketball.
my biggest thing too is like I'm torn because I do like to some extent that he's a shit talker. Uh, I don't like that it's like kind of trying to be highbrow snooty about the shit talking, because if you're gonna be highbrow, like, it has to make sense. It has to land. You can't
He's
have
French too. Let's not forget.
yeah, exactly. So that's rubbing me the wrong way already. I'm starting to my love for the French wears thin. But I'm just one of these people, and look, like, everyone knows the talent that Wembanyama is. Everyone knows the
Hmm.
potential that Wembanyama has. You haven't won anything yet. And I'm of the thinking that if you haven't won, don't start talking like if you have. Just for your own sake, even. Like, if I'm the guy who's managing your PR, I'm telling you, you're signing yourself up to already become the villain, and you haven't won. Stay the guy that people want to cheer for. And because naturally, if this guy starts winning, everyone's going to start hating him. But let's, like, wait till you get to that point before letting the hate happen. But if you start putting these comments out there like, I play ethical basketball and they don't, and then you play a bad game, now everyone's on the internet like, oh, what
And,
happened to ethical
yeah.
basketball?
Well, yeah. What happened? Why are you trying to play like Shy Gilgeous-Alexander, you 7-footer?
Yeah, like,
Like what
so
happened? But the thing is too is like these are the same comments that we judged and I judged John Morant for.
yeah,
Before you did anything, you wanted to become like this thing. Like he's trying to make the Spurs. Yo, Stefan Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper are great, but they're not that right now. They're not like
no,
that championship, like what they're gonna be in a couple years right now. So like Wemby needs to relax because he's gonna put a target on his back and he's gonna put a target on the Spurs back. And that's the last thing you want because Greg Popovich isn't there to outcoach everybody anymore. I
yeah,
don't know much about the new coach. I really don't, but he's not better than Greg Popovich. I can put my life on that.
no, yeah. I mean, that's not from his time there. He's been doing a great job so far, and like any coach, they will, especially the Spurs organization, will put time and trust into him. No one starts off as good as they end up, but
Mhm.
yeah, you're comparing the greatest coach of all,
No,
one of
no,
the greatest
of
coaches of
course.
all time. Yeah, yeah. So the bar set high, but yeah, it's like just chill on the shit talk a little bit, a little bit. Like, you already were disrespecting chat, now you're disrespecting ethical basketball, disrespecting the way other teams play. Like, just limit yourself to just a couple of shit talking moments a week, not
And
not a
Chet
lot of
doesn't
them.
talk, man. Chet really
No,
doesn't talk too much. Chet flexed his ring, Chet his championship as he should, but
yeah,
Chet doesn't
as you
talk.
should.
That's a one-sided beef right there.
Yeah.
That's one man that doesn't like another man.
Like, I would have loved, and I understand, and I said this on the last pod, like, I get from Wemby's point of view, I don't want to be compared to Chet. I want to be compared to the MVP, because I'm that good. But also the natural comparisons to Chet, because you're both freaking 7+, so
Yeah, but he's also closer to Chet than he is to Jokic. Like, I mean, I
right
don't know
now,
why.
yeah.
No, no, of course, right now.
Yeah.
But I think that the growth between Wemby and Chet will go like this. Like Wemby
Yeah.
will eventually be
Wemby
better.
will
But
take
Chet's gonna be
off.
right there. Chet's gonna be right there.
I I do love that at the beginning of the season, like, everyone was ready. There, not everyone. There was people on, like, the internet, they were ready to crown Victor, like, above Jokic, above,
Yeah,
like, Giannis. And it's
yeah.
like, again, brother, that's chill. He hasn't even made it to the playoffs yet. Like, all of that stuff is possible. I'm not saying it's not. He could very well go to the playoffs this year. I'm not expecting this or predicting this, but they could very well make like a Western Conference Finals run. I don't imagine that. I definitely don't imagine a finals run, but they could. And Wemby could go off for 8 games straight, and we could all be like, next season, talking about, damn, how good is Wemby? But
Mhm.
that hasn't happened yet. And I'm not going to overrate regular season basketball when I've seen what Jokic can do time and time and time again in the playoffs. Like, this is come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was a Shea MVP guy last year, but put some respect on Jokic's name. Like that's
It's got to
we
be. It's gonna probably be. It should be a co MVP, but they should just give it to Jokic just because they took it with Joel Embiid.
yeah, it's gonna be tough if OKC wins 70 plus, but they might not. Maybe they might not. It's their season does get harder.
You know
Uh,
that actually is a really good point. Wemby said that he thinks he's the best. He did say that the other day, right? He said, "Oh yeah, no, if I'm in the league, I'm the best player." Yeah, bro, bro, stop smoking some crack.
yeah,
What are we
just
doing?
humble yourself a little bit. Like I can be,
Exactly,
I will
exactly,
be. You know,
dude. At least John Morant was already like fighting with people, dunking all over everybody. And
yeah,
then he started saying, like John Morant had already brought the Glock out when he said, "I figured out OKC." Like he had already done all his stupid shit. When I don't know, he Wemby took this China trip, bro, and he changed. I'm not even
he,
kidding. Like not even trying to be funny. He really did
yeah.
see that Mao Zedong exhibit, and his life is different.
Just a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. I'd rather him just take it easy for a little bit.
Bro.
Just win some basketball games and
Yeah, yeah.
quietly succeed. That's take the Spurs in it. A couple other things coming out of this game. I did want to say I did appreciate Jalen Brunson putting some respect on the East. Man, they asked him about both on the post game and in the like Amazon Prime show about if the East is wide open or whatever and how easy it is in the East, and he said directly the East is a lot better than people think and it's a grind every night. And yeah, shout out to Brunson. I just feel like, don't get me wrong, the top three teams in the West, I'm still taking most of them: OKC, Nuggets, Rockets. But the East has got some good teams, man. Like it's not chump change. There's some stuff, and especially like, yeah, it's easy to talk shit now, but like Tatum is out with an AC with an Achilles injury, and Halliburton's out with an injury. So we're missing a lot of the best players in the East because of injury. So
Well,
yeah, it's
The West isn't really all that. I mean, if you really look at it, you start looking at some of these teams that are the top in the rosters, like the Timberwolves are 6, the hell,
yeah.
the Suns 7, the Warriors are probably gonna miss the playoffs. The the Mavericks lost Kyrie and stuff, so I kind of expected that. But the Clippers, I mean, that the abomination of the organization that are the Clippers.
Well, we're
Imagine
gonna
that,
talk about
dude.
the
Like
Clippers later.
no, we are, yeah. But the
Yeah,
East is. I think the East is stronger than the West this year, considering our injuries and everything. I think we're definitely better. And
yeah.
also,
I just think the top teams in the West are the best teams, but I don't like after that. It's like it's yeah, whatever.
the West also has the two best players in the league. It's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. It makes
It's
it
a
it
little
makes it
bit difficult
tough.
to compete with that.
Which hopefully Giannis doesn't go to the West too. I think that would just like we'd have to change something if Giannis also goes to the West. It's like
The one
we're
time
running out.
I would appreciate a veto from Adam Silver.
Yeah, like we can't have all the MVP candidates all playing in the Western Conference. Please keep some in the East. But yeah, I just appreciate Brunson doing that. Because it's easy to talk shit, but he didn't. He's actually a pretty respectful guy. Unlike his teammates. His teammates are disrespectful in very funny ways. You could tell they all get along. There was a lot of stuff that came out of this. There was a clip of Josh Hart sticking his thumb in Jalen Brunson's butt while they were on stage on TV celebrating their trophy win. He did it real sneaky, and it's yeah. I mean I just think that's hilarious. Josh Hart does not give a shit, and then he tweeted after this that was AI. It wasn't real. So
Um,
uh,
I don't know, man. He kind of knew where it was immediately. I don't think
he
people have realized that enough. Like he knew exactly where to
the way
that was
Jalen
that's
Brunson
where he
turned
should.
around upset. Josh Hart's done this before. That
Yeah,
that
like
was not like what the fuck. That was like
that
for real.
that was a bro, not here.
Not here. Not on
Not here.
4K.
Not on live television. Now everybody knows that we're like, you know.
They're best buddies. They really are. He
But you know what?
also
That's how
said
you that's the actually a good foundation. I don't want to say foundation, but that's a good building block to have a championship team is have friends. Like have
that
good
like
camaraderie.
sometimes I feel like when New York Knicks trades come up, sometimes Josh Hart's name gets floated for salary reasons, and like because you could upgrade from his position, but you can't trade Josh Hart. You can't trade Josh Hart.
He's like he's the weirdest NBA player. He's like not good at anything. Like he's good at
He
defense. He's just
and he
like
fucking hustles. He just is
fuck.
nonstop. He
He's like
will fight.
Joakim Noah shrink
Yeah,
into
like he fights for rebounds. He presses the ball in transition. Every once in a while, he'll hit a three. Like
yeah, he's
he,
not like great at it. He's just like really, really good.
but and you know that every time he's out there, he's trying. There's
Exactly. He's
no,
100% effort.
yeah. So like you can't trade him. Also, in the post game, Josh Hart said that Jalen Brunson, inch for inch, he thinks is probably the best player in the NBA. But
Oh yeah,
specifically,
because we set up pound for pound.
yeah, inch for inch, which is, man, that's also crazy to say. Just these guys have no chill at all.
It
Uh
would. He could be the pound for pound. He's probably like this little era's like not exactly Allen Iverson, but like the undersized guard that's leading a team.
Man, he's
It's
nasty.
definitely
Like
Jalen Brown.
I
He's
I I
disgusting.
I wrote it in my notes throughout the game. I'm like, if the Spurs don't take a 10-point lead going into the fourth, the Knicks are going to win it. Because the Spurs are young, and in a clutch game against an unproven team, I'm going to take Jalen Brunson. Like, if it's different if it's clutch game versus a vet team, but a clutch game against a young team, Jalen Brunson, give me him. I mean, I take him over most players in a clutch game. Really, like, he has no fear in his heart in the clutch.
I think he like prays on the sideline. Let this be a close game, Lord.
Yeah,
Please
like
be a close game.
let me get some iso ball. Let me do some.
Let me glorify you the way I do every fourth quarter and fucking just go.
Man, like his footwork in the post, like his step throughs, he's just an incredibly crafty player. So shout out to him. There was also another comment which is hilarious. Macau Bridges made sure that Taylor Rook said to the rest of the Prime crew that they've been calling Jalen Brunson Domian Lillard because of how big his head is. And yeah, the Prime crew was
Greatest
in
crew
shock.
in basketball television history.
I love
Already.
them.
In my
I
in my opinion, they're already the greatest basketball show ever. It's not
I
close.
I'm look, like, all the respect to the inside the NBA guys when they were in their prime,
Dude,
but it's just not. They're just it's
dude,
old man yelling at clouds already. Like it's too much.
inside the NBA is going to lose its historical significance. It's gonna lose it over time because people are
Because
gonna
of
go back. Bro, I remember halftime and in post game, all they did was talk crap. And
all they
all
do.
who wanted it more. And Adam Silver, we'll talk about it later, talked about that. But it's the same concepts. And now it's like this breath of fresh air. Like they're actually talking about the game, like the things that are
Actually,
happening. Like I didn't hear like people like, oh, he wanted it more. No, 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 no. He went across the screen in the fourth quarter in the clutch, and then this guy switched, and then that caused this and that. And like they're
he
breaking
missed this
shit down.
read. Yeah, like
Yeah, they're breaking it down. And that's what we need. So we don't get so many like that's why you have such this rift in basketball talk of like people think one guy's good and everybody thinks he's bad, yada yada yada. It's because there's no education. There's
there's
no
no
way that no one teaches. The only person that taught basketball before Amazon Prime was Kobe Bryant's ESPN Detail.
that show was cool. Yeah,
That show, that was the best breakdown show ever. I mean, I've seen the episodes over
yeah.
and over and over again. But like,
All the people who broke stuff down for ESPN, they got rid of. They
yeah,
just started getting rid of over and over. Like Zach Lowe. How do you fire
I
Zach
forgot
Lowe?
Inside the NBA is still a thing. They're just on ESPN now. I haven't seen one clip of them this season.
I me neither. I
Uh, All you see is
There
Amazon.
was one clip from an interview that Charles Barkley did last week talking about how he thinks how stupid the NBA Cup is. And it's like, dude, you're just proving the point. Like, why are we like, you forgot that you're being paid to promote the game. You can give your feedback, your critiques, but like, why are we denigrating and why are we talking bad about the game? Like, that's not how you get more fans in. That's how you get all these casuals who are like, basketball's boring to watch now. It's like, have you actually watched? Like, there's a lot of fun basketball being played by a
Yeah,
lot of teams. Like, it's not all just like boring. But another person who disrespected the cup, but and we'll move on from cups talk after this. But uh, Dolan, he's not raising a banner, man. He's not
he's.
gonna.
Hey, I know a niece of his. I met a niece of his when I went to college. He's a piece of shit. Like
Yeah, I've
this is
never heard
not
good things about him.
no. Like he does not care. It's all about this.
Yeah, yeah,
All
that's
about
all.
this guy just sends. Imagine this guy sends a text to the group chat. Meet me at this. Go to this port so we can go to the island and have family time. And he just invites people. He's just so much money. But this guy does not care. This guy has not cared about the Knicks. Has not cared about winning. Like, and this is actual. This is an actual issue in sports. I wish more commissioners would just like force sale. Like you should be able to force a sale if you don't care about your team. Like I don't
Yeah,
care
like
that you
what do
make
you?
profit. You should care. I need. I don't need Steve Ballmers. I don't need cheaters.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
Mark. A perfect world, everybody's Mark Cuban. In a perfect world, every owner is Mark
Everyone
Cuban.
really, really cares about the team, cares about it.
Bro, I loved seeing Mark Cuban. Like even when the Mavericks were whooping our ass, like the owner getting upset. I love that shit, man.
Yeah, that's cool. It's
Obviously,
super
he
cool.
sold the team and they traded Luka Doncic. So being a
So
Mavericks fan, maybe it wasn't all that at the end
maybe,
of the
yeah,
day.
maybe there are some highs and lows with the Mark Cuban
But during the
experience,
Mark
but
Cuban days, like I like that. I wish Mickey Arison was more at the games.
yeah.
I wish these owners put more of a effort towards giving a
I,
damn.
I heard this on the All NBA podcast, and I actually liked this idea that they talked about rather than like hanging an individual banner for every time you win an NBA Cup, doing it like program banners from college, where you just have the banner with NBA Cup, and then you start adding years for every year
As you
you've ever
go,
won it.
yeah, kind of like a
I think
state
that's kind of cool.
championship.
Yeah, I like that more. I think that would be really cool for teams just to hang it so that
Uh,
eventually you win a couple and it's added. You don't have to have four NBA Cup banners, but just that one, like keeping track, because
I think the
it's
second one is
something worth.
coming.
Yeah, it's something worth saying. It's you won something, man. So
Yeah.
celebrate it. We'll very quickly, just do. I know there's normally a Heat podcast, but there hasn't been a lot of Heat to talk about. There will be, as you know, we lost to the Raptors. We're on a 5-game losing streak right now. The Raptors were also on a 4-game losing streak going into that game, so it was the battle of two not playing well teams. They obviously ended up taking that game. Jovic arm got obliterated. Apparently, it's actually like mostly fine. It was like a clean break, I think. I mean, I could look up the injury, but well, very quickly, and I don't want to belabor this because it's already passed, but like, just how do you feel about that game, and what are you
So,
looking forward to for this next set of games?
first of all, God dang it, we've lost 5 in a row. Chloe's not free yet. She's still locked up. So free my cat, please. Please
Freeze
win a
cat.
game.
They
Yeah, my
can't free
cat's
her until
locked
we
up.
win a game.
Yeah, I put her in the slammer until we win a game, and I thought they were gonna win Tuesday, but no. One of my main takeaways has been this has just been a takeaway for years now. Often, too many times throughout the season, I'm turning my TV on, and this has nothing to do with basketball. Tyler Hero has street clothes on. My number one option is the number one option to be ruled out every night, pretty much.
Yeah, it's been
This is now
unfortunate.
becoming an issue. Before, it was Tyler Hero coming to the team and fit. He came in, he started playing lights out, but the
Yeah,
team was suffering. The actual team play suffered, and he played great. And now he's missing games again. So I'm kind of stuck in between. I don't know if Miami can even pick themselves back up this season because can you even insert your number one option? Is he going to be healthy enough? Miami's
yeah.
in a kind of a tough spot right a tough spot right now, especially losing Jovic.
It
They're
was.
losing some
It's
depth.
Yeah, losing some depth. We have still guys who are injured nonstop. I mean, there was some talk of like maybe they brought Tyler back too soon, and that's why the injury keeps getting re-aggravated. But that's worrisome. And then also like worst case scenario, because this is a toe thing with him. I don't think it's to the extent that Garland had it, but this toe injury has been nonstop for Garland, and he hasn't been the same player at all
Yeah,
this year when he has been able to play. So whatever it is, man, like leave these guys out until they're fully healthy, until they're ready to play. And I know it's hard, like to talk to these players because they just want to get back on the court, but we can't keep doing this thing where we have Tyler for 1 game, then we lose him for 4, and then we have him for 2 games, then we lose him for 3. It's like we
yeah. He's
we
out
just need to
tonight.
bring him back. Yeah, he'll be out tonight
He'll be out tonight.
against. Is anybody else out tonight against the Nets tonight?
That's the big foot contusion. It's not even the toe anymore. It's just the entire foot,
Just
which
the
is
whole
even
foot?
worse. Yeah, which is even worse. That just means his toe is too swollen. Everything else is just getting screwed up. That's normally what
Pelle
happens.
Larson's Pelle Larson's also out. Jovic is obviously out, and Norman Powell is day to day right now.
Jovic comes out with
Uh,
the brace.
I mean, if we don't have
One on
Norman
one.
Powell, we might go on a 6-game losing streak. Honestly, uh,
Yeah. Miami right now. I think Miami is. This is gonna sound crazy because I don't think any team should ever be that. I think Miami's in trade now mode. Call up,
yeah,
figure something out. Because you have a really good core, but you need a star that plays. You need a star. Your star needs to play.
yeah.
And
I
more
mean,
often than
they're
not,
just waiting for Giannis. That's all they're doing.
when
That's
it's if
they.
it's not the playoffs, if it's not whatever, something happens and he's out. And it's just been so aggravating as a fan because I know he doesn't want to be out. But god dang it.
Yeah,
Every time I need you, you're not here. Every time I need you to come in so we can stop this losing streak.
And the scary thing too is Brooklyn right now, they're obviously not a good team, but in the last 2 weeks, they've been playing really well. In the last 2 weeks, they've had the 12th best offense in the league, seventh best defense, which is amazing for their standards. In the last 2 weeks, Miami has had the worst offense in the NBA. We're averaging 104 points per 100 possessions, which is not good. 105, really, when you round up. Our defense has still been top 12. Our defense has kind of held up, but the offense has fallen off a freaking cliff. So yeah, we're in a prime position for Brooklyn to show us up. My big thing going into this road stretch, we're playing the Nets, we're playing the Celtics, we're playing the Knicks, which I mean, Celtics are even a pretty good team right now too. They've been playing really well. Their defense isn't great. And the Knicks have obviously been playing well. Uh I'm hoping we can win two of these games, and I'm hoping, very much hoping, that we get a good Ware game. But because I feel like we haven't seen one in a while, I would love to see some more action from him, like getting back to where he was at the beginning of the season. But if we lose two or three of these, that's just it's starting to get tough, and it's like that point where we're middling, and are we really trying to win? Are we waiting on a trade? And if we're not trying to win, if we're not going to get that trade, then like, can we just start playing the young guys so I can start seeing Cass and Ware grow and become better players? If the ceiling of this team isn't high, and it might not be. I don't know. I don't know if this is just a terrible cold stretch or if this is like revelation time. But
it,
these next three games are super important. Like we
it's
can't
the
just
it
keep sliding.
and it's unfortunately it's his injury history. He came back. We're trying to fit him in. We're kind of in a cold stretch, and then on top of that, now you're in and out of the lineup, so we can't even really like see what Tyler Hero isn't, because we just can't get him consistently, and I think that's why Miami is suffering. Then one night you have him in the offense, and you kind of like you play with him, and then the next night he's not there, and you're like, how do we go back to playing the way we were playing pre Tyler? I kind of knew that this was gonna happen. I figured once Tyler Hero came in, this was all gonna go to shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have. I think the big thing is it needed adjustment time, and since Tyler Hero's come back, also there hasn't been any way to adjust because he's been in and out. Powell's been in and out. Larson's been in and out. Like we haven't had a stretch of the actual team healthy to all figure it out together and learn what their new minutes are, what the
Uh-huh.
rotation should be. Every single time it's Spo figuring out like,
Mhm.
okay, I guess today this is the rotation because all these guys are out. We need some stability so that they can actually kind of figure out what we're doing. But yeah, man, it's worrisome because these teams are not pushovers. None of these teams, even the Nets right now, are not
We can go
pushovers.
to an 8 game losing streak very easily. This can
Yeah,
go to 8. We can come back to Miami and be 8 in a row lost without a
I
doubt.
will. The two bright sides I will say is at the end of the day, also we do have our own pick for this year. Other bright side, last year the Pacers were sub 500 going into January. Uh, so not saying we're gonna have a Pacers run, but it's a long season. Things change. The
No,
way
yeah,
players play, like everything. So it's not like we're not making any definitive points right now, but it's starting to look ugly. And
it's
health is
gloomy
a
right now. The
and
clouds are
health is
out.
just a major concern. It's a major concern. We can't get a stretch of all our players on the court together. It's just feeling like wasted effort. Also, there have been some trade rumors circling around about MPJ right now. Maybe that affects his play. The Nets are apparently shopping him, which makes sense because he's a pretty good player and he doesn't fit their timeline.
Yeah, no, he's like so ridiculous. Watching him play,
He's been scoring the hell out of the ball, man.
get ball, shoot, get ball, shoot, and he just shoots over everybody. It's actually really funny.
There's
Uh,
a reason why he was one of the best prospects.
well, yeah, I mean, he just had that really bad back injury. People forget about that. That stuff messes you up. And he was playing
Yeah.
alongside Jokic. Not that that's bad, but I don't know if it's the best thing for somebody who needs a ball in his hands to score,
Yeah, he was like a
like
third or
Michael
fourth
Porter.
option on that team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, with Miami, I think that they need to, if they're not going to make that Giannis trade, then they need to sit down and like really just run double, triple practices. They need to start. It feels like the offense is not clicking the way it was. Obviously, people have figured it out, but there has to be an alternative. There has to be a way to run that offense and run your regular half court. Because if they're
Yeah,
just
like
running that fast break, I feel like Miami keeps getting like they keep gassing themselves out.
yeah, I would love to see some variability in the offense to like spruce things up a bit. It does feel, I mean, a lot of it's just like we're not hitting our threes, and that's a big thing. But a lot of it also feels like they're not getting open on these drives. And again, I still do feel like Ware is underutilized and has been. I don't. The ball never finds him, or very rarely finds him. We don't use him as a lob threat very often, as much as we were at the beginning of the season. There's just there's some stuff to figure out there. I'm concerned. I wanted to go into this stretch saying we win two of them, lose one, but if our players are out, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
Miami's in a tough spot right now.
yeah,
We have a
it's
couple
a little.
injuries.
Yeah. What are you thinking if you had to make a prediction right now coming out of this road trip? Are we 1-2, 0-3?
I would say 1-2, and we're probably gonna beat like Knicks, and we'll lose to like the Celtics and the Nets. That's typical Miami Heat basketball right
That
there.
that does feel like typical Miami Heat basketball.
Like they're gonna win, they're gonna lose against the Nets, and then the Celtics, and people are gonna be, oh my god, and then they're gonna like blow the doors off the Knicks with like Kyle Larson and 55 points or something. And then I'll be like, oh my
Uh,
god. Not really 55, but the
yeah.
thing with Miami as well is they can't even make a trade because I don't know if you want to talk about it. We have like the
We can
worst
move on.
commissioner
Yeah.
in the history of sports. Is
Yeah, I
managing
don't
our support.
I don't know what's going on. So before the NBA Cup, they interviewed Adam Silver and asked him some questions about the league and whatnot. And they also interviewed him on the Prime show. And they asked him about the Rozier situation, and he couldn't give an answer. Um, and this is like your job to have an answer. He also said that he's conversing with the other teams in the league about how Miami should be compensated.
Yeah.
Why do the other teams get a say in Miami getting effed over by the Charlotte Hornets and by Adam Silver?
What Adam Silver is flirting with, and I think Miami, maybe Miami knows this, or maybe Miami just is waiting a little bit before they pull this. Dude, the NBA is gonna get sued out of their mind. There's proof. There's people that have reported that there's proof that the NBA knew.
Yeah.
So if you go into Discovery and Adam Silver was aware that Terry Rozier being traded to the Miami Heat and he's under investigation, dude, Adam Silver won't have a job.
Yeah.
Forget the, the
It's
the the pick that you need to give us. Forget the money. Forget whether you want what solution you want or don't want. You're gonna lose your job.
That's
You're
why
like
I would think like if I'm Adam Silver, I would want to brush this under the rug and like just give us a compensatory pick. I understand that you can't just give us the pick back, but give us a pick in that draft. And the reason that they're scared is because if we got a pick, if we get a 2027 pick, it unlocks Miami's capability to now trade not 2 first, but actually 4 first. I believe
exactly,
and
yeah. And here's the thing. I think it's very simple. It's like the simplest thing in the world. Terry Rozier's under investigation. We don't know if he's on an expiring contract. The pick goes back to Miami. Terry Rozier goes back to Charlotte. We get the
yeah,
money off our books. We got to pick because there's no way that in a legal court that's going to stand. I mean, there's no way that the NBA could sit there with as many lawyers as they have, as much money as they have, and win a case like that. I mean, it's the most obvious. It's almost like collusion.
yeah.
It's
And
almost like they
it's
colluded. They're colluding against us for us not to go get Giannis or for us to not go make a major trade. It feels like that. It feels like the league doesn't want Miami to get back on the map. If you ask
what's
me,
crazy
that's
is
what I feel like.
you see people around the league who aren't even Miami fans saying this. Like Bill Simmons is like, "What the hell is Adam
Bro,
Silver doing?"
How many times has Kevin Durant said, I want traded and said everywhere he's going to go and wants to go? When did Adam
Yeah,
Silver come out and say, don't say that? But as soon as Damian Lillard said, I want to go to Miami, don't be telling teams you only want to go to Miami. What's up with Adam Silver, Miami, man? What's up? Did you come down
yeah.
here? One of the BBLs rejected you? What's going on? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, there's
Let's just
actually, like, Adam Silver hates Miami. I
yeah,
mean, I
just
hate Adam Silver right back, so it's okay.
give us the pick, man. Let us make our
It's very
trade. Let us go
simple.
for Giannis. Let us do the
It's
thing that we want to do.
not
Let us
even
do
go
the
for
thing that we want
Giannis,
to
but
do.
like, dude, what if somebody gets Giannis, right? And what if in a crazy world, Jalen Green tears his Achilles, Dylan Brooks out for the season, Devin Booker's up for trade. Shit, we could trade for him. Like,
Yeah,
but if you don't
we're
give us our pick, if we don't have that money, there's $26 million and a first round pick that we don't have.
yeah. We can't even use that. We can't even sign like that's a roster spot
Uh,
that's being taken right now.
what he's doing to us is what Josh Hart did to Jalen Brunson at the end of the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's going like this. Look, he's going like, boop.
And right on
And,
live TV for everybody to see. He doesn't give a
and
shit.
in
Doesn't give a
14
shit.
And the best part is, there's reporters asking the commissioner of the National Basketball Association, do you have a solution? Well, there's no obvious solution. I don't just have one. No, of course, you make one. That's your
Yeah,
job.
that's your job to make the
That's
solution.
literally your job.
Present a solution to us.
You
I
know?
I haven't seen any reports that they're working on a solution.
And I thought, to give him credit about Prime, I thought he would get credit for that because he obviously negotiated that deal and stuff. But he didn't even know how good the Prime crew was. I mean, he was talking and he was like flabbergasted. He's like, oh my God, guys, real
Yeah.
real basketball coverage.
Which
Amazing.
he was taking shots at the TNT and ESPN
Of
guys. That's
course, and he
one.
should, and as
Yeah.
people, but it's like the Miami situation is simple. It's not. People are trying to make this complicated. Terry Rozier's under investigation,
Yeah.
bro.
What
I don't care if he's
this
innocent, not innocent.
check
Right
me out.
now, this basketball team has a chance to win the championship.
I'm gonna put on my copium hat. This is where we're feeling irrationally optimistic. He said what he said because what he's doing, this is just my reporting that I've spoken to no one about
Let me
other than
put the copium
myself.
on too. Hold on.
Yeah, he said what he said because he's discussing with the other teams where Miami's pick should land that he's going to give us. That's what he's doing. He's talking to the teams like, do I give them like a pick in the middle of the first round? Do they get it at the end? That's what they're talking about.
So
They're just talking about if we get a 15th pick, a 20th pick, or the
i-
31st in the first round. That's all they're doing.
if
They're
the
gonna
Hornets, if the Hornets knew too, right?
they
Because like
did.
they knew they were on investigation. They were told, hey, you have a player under investigation. How does that not like? And this is where it gets really complicated for me. How is that not just 1-2 reverse the trade? Because it was
Yeah.
Terry Rozier and a first round pick. Reverse the trade.
What I also don't understand, and what maybe again, so again, copium hat on with actual some little bit more logic and not just pure hope. If I'm the other NBA teams and I am discussing with Adam Silver about this, I'm gonna want there to be some kind of precedent that if a team sells me damaged goods, knowing like that they're lying to me or withholding information, that I'm compensated. I would want that to be the precedent because most teams assume that they're operating as honest traders and want to be protected against other teams giving them players or selling off players who are under investigation federally. So that is some of my hope too. Like if I'm another NBA team owner, if I'm the Grizzlies, if I'm the Spurs, and I'm like, wait, so we can make a trade for a guy who we think is going to help us win, and then we find out that he's been throwing games, and then nothing like, and the other team knew, and we don't get anything for it. Like
And he threw a game allegedly playing for you.
yeah, I want precedent on the books that at least some kind of compensation is given back if a team tries to screw you over in that way. So that's my hope. We will move on, or I'll let you get one more in.
Oh no, I was just gonna say to also say this is a really big problem because if Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley decide, yo, this isn't getting settled and we go to court, that discovery is gonna be disgusting because there's gonna be conversations between Adam Silver and Charlotte Hornets personnel about, yeah, we know he's got the investigation, but they're not gonna go through with it. That's what's gonna happen because that conversation happened. They had
Yeah,
to talk about that. Hey, we just found out from Big Cash that your boy is under investigation for doing a bunch of stuff. And the Hornets knew and they went ahead with the trade.
I just feel like
So,
this is an issue that needs to be solved with haste. It needs to be a top of mind idea.
top of my forget aspiration. I don't care about those $50 million that
We can
Kawhi
get to
might
that
have gotten.
later, but let's talk about this right now. Like let's
Let's talk
figure it
about
out.
because this isn't owner cheating. This is the league and and another organization actively, excuse my language, fucking us.
Yeah,
Active, active.
and it affects everything about this season, the next season. So yeah, I want us to get that. I will
Or
say
just
some
give
other
us
things.
LaMelo Ball. How about that?
Sure,
Ruin
I'll
the
take it.
Hornets. You ruined us. We'll ruin the Hornets. Just give us LaMelo Ball, and we'll replace it with Rozier's contract.
Some other stuff that we'll quickly mention. Adam Silver also mentioned moving the NBA Cup potentially. So next season already, the semifinals aren't going to be in Vegas. Only the final game was planned to be in Vegas. But he's also talking about maybe moving the NBA Cup game out of Vegas. And one of the ideas they brought up was storied college arenas, which I'm torn on. I think that's interesting, but was curious, like, that he would mention that already. I think Vegas has been a little bit of a failed experiment with NBA Cup in terms of like getting fans there because
Well, yeah, 'cause they don't have a
there's
team and
no,
stuff.
there's no way that like it's a single game elim tournament, and we find out like 3 days before if our team makes it or not. Like people aren't going to be able to just fly out and go watch their team in Vegas, and then Vegas, for other reasons, basketball related, the tourism rates in Vegas haven't been great recently. They've been suffering because of the prices in Vegas. This isn't an economic podcast, but regardless, there are less people in Vegas than there normally have been. So their turnout at these games hasn't been great either. So it's like, why are we here? Really?
Yeah.
That's a question mark. I just don't know what they do because like I think it's cool to keep it somewhere neutral, but how? And then if it's not neutral, how do you decide what team gets it as a home game? It's yeah, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I don't know what the next step of it is. Don't really care for the college idea though, personally.
I don't mind. I guess the only thing that would make sense is if you were gonna go like to a football arena or something, and like a closed arena, and put a basketball court in the middle of the NFL field. Other than that, I don't really know
Yeah,
what you can do with a neutral site. Me, because colleges, most colleges are smaller anyways, so you're already limited to like 5 venues.
yeah, and then exactly, you're limited to a very small amount of venues, and then like who's going to these games? Like if you're going to like North Carolina, like are people from North Carolina going to show out for a Suns Pistons game? I'm just making up a random NBA Cup, finale. Uh
Shit,
and
I'm not
then
showing up to my
also
TV for that.
also the players aren't excited either. Like at least the players are like, shit, free trip to Vegas, like let's go to Vegas. But like if I'm a player, it's like we're gonna go to North Carolina in the middle of nowhere by a college for a couple days. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and that's for now.
It's
Wait till he moves it to Saudi Arabia, and they have to
and
go
so
across
he
the
did
world.
say Windy reported this. He even said that he wasn't sure if this was on the record or not, but Adam Silver told him this, and he's putting it on the record. So shout out to Windy. That Adam Silver said specifically he will not do it in Saudi Arabia, and is not looking to do it in other countries because of the challenge it would pose with regular season scheduling. Because
Oh, okay.
if you're a team and you win on Thursday and it's like, all right, now you're flying to Saudi for a Saturday game and then you have a Tuesday game, or you lose and then you got to fly back and have a, like, it's just it wouldn't, you'd have to like carve out a whole segment of the season for it with a break for that to be able to work.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't think that's it would be cool if there was enough rest time to make it work, I think, to put it in different countries like in Europe and stuff, but they don't. I would hate that if we're the Heat and we're flying to Saudi on Tuesday to play a cup game and then we have a game Thursday back in like Miami. That's
yeah.
or even further, like on the West Coast. That's terrible. Uh,
No, you're right.
last couple things before we get out of here, or last thing before we get out of here. I don't know if you've seen the development on the CP3 stuff, uh, but just want to give some love to CP3, man, because nobody showed up to his Halloween party, and that's fucked up. That's not cool. He threw a party to try to build camaraderie with his teammates, invited the whole team, and apparently only like 3 players showed up. Zubac and Bradley Beal, I think, were the only names that were listed.
Um, it's it's sad, right? It's sad. This is the
That's
point, guy.
sad.
It's sad
Yeah,
because Kawhi Leonard pretty much lucked into a championship with Toronto,
yeah,
then parlayed that into going to the Clippers. And he won this championship with the Spurs that the Spurs, like, all he did was guard LeBron. So now he's got this, like, thought of himself. That he's like
yeah.
this great, he can't be talked to. And I'm going to be completely honest. I think history is going to favor James Harden and Chris Paul over Kawhi Leonard's career. I think once people
Interesting.
look at it at the end of the day, and you're going to click one stat, not numbers, games
Games
and
played.
minutes played.
Yeah,
You're as bad as James Harden is in the playoffs. He's been there. It's like
he's been there
one
over and over
time
and
and
over
got
again.
an injury. So I'm saying all that to say Chris Paul has been extremely disrespected. I expect nothing less from the Clippers, especially a team cheating. I
Yeah,
hope they lose the aspiration case, and I really hope Kawhi Leonard never wins another piece of hardware again.
yeah. I
Because there's
just
no
even on
way Kawhi Leonard is sitting there and saying, "Oh man, like how do you not fight for that guy?
yeah,
He's trying to
even
make
on a
his
human
team better."
even on a human level, like you invite all your boys, like all your friends to a party, and
But
none of them showed up.
does Kawhi Leonard realize he's the worst Clipper of all time if we're talking about him versus Chris Paul? Does he realize that? Does he know
Yeah,
he's
like
like
you're,
the
you're
worst
disres
LA Clipper to put on a uniform? The worst star to ever wear the Clippers uniform is Kawhi Leonard.
and
Because
there's some stories too. Apparently, John Collins said this to ESPN. that a lot of the players were pissed because Chris Paul would often play with the bench players against the starters in practice, and John Collins said that they were kicking their ass every day. We were kicking the starters' ass.
You know who else did that and disrupted? Winners. And I know this guy is you're not gonna like this, but Jimmy Butler, strapping in
No, he
Minnesota.
did. Yeah,
I proved to you you can't really do shit without him. And to be fair, I think he was sabotaged. I think his minutes on the floor were sabotaged on purpose. And
yeah,
Jeff Van Gundy, respect to Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy can't talk to fucking Chris Paul about shit. If Chris
that's
Paul
yeah.
comes out and says there should be a defensive adjustment, you don't tell Chris Paul you don't have the fucking leeway. Chris Paul can change not the defensive adjustment. Chris Paul can go out to the bench and start making substitutions if he wants. Because Chris Paul knows the most basketball on that team. I have no doubt in my mind. There's not a single staff member, there's not a coach, there's not a GM, there's nobody in that building that knows more basketball on the floor and off the floor than Chris Paul.
So one executive who didn't reveal his name is quoted in this article and said, "He wears you out. He's convinced he's right, and he often is right, which kind of pisses you off."
He went in there, you know what he did, right? He went to Lawrence Frank and he said, you put together a shitty ass team. And Lawrence Frank said, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah,
That's what happened. Is he told him he had a shitty team. Those have been the reports. He was telling the front office, you guys built a terrible team.
the thing is, man, it's like, dude, how about instead of sending Chris Paul home, you sit down James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and you're like, hey, you guys need to like. I know you guys aren't the type to lead a team. Like you don't have that persona. That's cool. That's fine.
Mhm.
But at least back the guy who's trying,
And,
at least be like, yo, we're all going to Chris Paul's. And then the whole team goes. Because if Kawhi and James Harden say they're going to Chris Paul's Halloween party, everyone on the team is going. Because it's like, oh shit, well,
yeah.
now we got to go. And if
And it's not
Kawhi
like
and
they
Chris,
went to another one.
yeah, and
Yeah,
if
they just
Kawhi and
didn't
James
go to a
Harden
party.
say, yo, what Chris Paul says in practice, listen to that shit because he knows what he's talking about. Then the whole team is like, all right, shit, like this guy fucking knows. And then it makes your life easier because then you're James Harden and Kawhi and all you have to do is go out there and play ball and you don't have to worry about talking to nobody.
Exactly. And nobody can tell me shit. And I know he's much older. But I remember I was there. I saw with my own eyes when Chris Paul went to Oklahoma City and said, hold my fucking beer. And he said, hold my beer. He literally told the world, hold my beer. Watch what I can do.
Chris
Dude,
Paul,
that guy's going to be one of the best coaches. If he
look,
becomes a coach, he's going to be a top
I
coach.
would love that. People can say whatever they want about him. He could be grading. He could be an asshole, whatever. You know what Chris Paul is? He's a winner. He's never won a championship, sadly, but he is a winner. Everywhere he has gone, he has made the team he's played on better, except for right now, this time with the Clippers. And guess what? This is the one team who sends him home. He was last year with the Spurs, helping mentor Wemby. When they sent him off, they gave him like a going away party. They loved him. He was with OKC, and Shea was incredibly, grateful for what Chris Paul taught him. He took the Suns to the finals, a team that never imagined going anywhere near the finals. He took them there. Like, man, give Chris Paul his credit. The Clippers, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're ruining the league. You're about to give OKC a top 5 pick. Like, you guys are a garbage can franchise. Move the team.
Sam Presti, do the right thing. Sam Presti, do the right thing. Cut one of those bums and sign Chris Paul.
That would be. I would absolutely love that.
Let Chris Paul walk out with the champ. If anybody, more than Carmelo, more than anybody that doesn't have a ring, that guy deserves a ring.
If you want to,
that guy wants.
If you want people to start rooting for OKC, all of a sudden you sign Chris Paul.
You know when I know you're a good player? When I'm watching Gil's Arena and Kenyon Martin is complaining about you, I know you're a great player. Because greatness, you can never take greatness out of bums. That's why Kenyon Martin hates Chris Paul. Because you were a first overall pick and he couldn't do shit with you. But that's a story for a different day. But Chris Paul, man, I hate this. I hate to see the way that his career has gone out, like this disrespect and like Holly Rowe. I get she's doing her reporter's job, but you didn't have to put out there that nobody went to the fucking Halloween party. You didn't have to do my boy like that.
Yeah, it's like
Although now I hate the Clippers. I hated the Clippers before. I hate them even more now.
Yeah, it's just
I hated Lob City. I was the original OG Lob City hater. I'm the one that said
really?
Lob City would never win a championship.
I won't lie. I mean, I didn't think they were going to win a championship, but I love Lob City. I thought they were so much fun.
Fraud, a fraud of a team. They'll never win anything. Yeah. I've said it.
For me, I mean, obviously my name is Chris, so I liked having a player named Chris to root for, and then 3 has always been my favorite number because of Dwayne Wade, I think. But having CP3, I'm like, yeah, this is my guy. Like, I love this guy. And then Blake Griffin was Blake Griffin.
And what organization has he gone to that he hasn't uplifted? Like, come on, man. Even when he went to Houston, they almost beat the Warriors.
They were
He
the only
doesn't.
team that went out there and tried, and they almost beat the
Yeah,
Warriors.
he doesn't mess up his hamstring where the history changes. History is completely different.
They probably win the chip that year if he doesn't mess up his hamstring. Rip to Chris
Exactly.
Paul, man. Rip to
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul. But
He
before we
doesn't
get
get
out of
injured
here,
in the
just
finals too. Remember that?
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Had bad
actually, you're
luck.
right.
Just had bad luck, which it happens. That's the game. That's the name of the game. But other than that, yeah, what are they? The Clippers got to go back to like a different team. Like they just got to go to like the G League and then let us get like a G League team up.
Just go, yeah, go somewhere else, swap it, get relegated, do
They
something.
haven't gotten any better either. I just want to point that out too. They're even worse than they were before they let go Chris Paul.
Yeah. They won one game against Atlanta that was missing half their team, and they were super
Yeah.
happy about it. And then it's like,
Other than
you
that,
guys
they've lost
still,
every single game.
you still suck. Yeah, you're still not
You know,
good.
I'm appalled that Jeff Van Gundy really thought he could tell Chris Paul he doesn't have leeway. You
Like,
say it like,
come
are you
on,
serious,
man.
bro? Like Jeff Van Gundy, what team have you turned around? Like, come on now. Like, let's be.
That's like,
He's a great coach, but let's be a little bit
just
honest here.
rally behind the guy, rally behind the franchise legend. But well, before we get out of here, George, we'll very quickly fired up and burnt out. What are you fired up for going into this end of week, going into the weekend?
This is my Heat fans are gonna hate me, but I am finally vindicated with Jaylen Brown. I finally am vindicated.
He's
At
balling.
last, people can see that Jaylen Brown is a good basketball player and not just next to Jason Tatum. It's so
Yeah.
great to watch. I mean,
No,
he's not as good as Jason Tatum, obviously,
but he's spectacular.
but he's
But he's
spectacular.
awesome.
If Jason Tatum is a superstar, Jaylen Brown's a superstar because
Yeah.
Tatum's like the next level. Tatum's
Yeah.
a tier above Brown, but Brown is showing you that hey, I'm that fucking guy.
There's no
I'm
way
really
around
fired
it.
up about that. I've been a
I
big
love his
Jaylen Brown fan.
mentality too. He tries hard every game. He's strong as shit. He defends.
Dude,
Like
how many people would put their fake hairline on somebody and then go make fun of it? Like that, I actually thought that was funny.
I got so much respect from him for that because he could have been like weird about it. He could have ignored it, but he made jokes. He just made jokes about it, and like
He said,
that's
"Code red, guys, code red."
yeah. He also has been saying a little bit of wild shit. He said that Scotty Barnes had that extra chromosome strength. This was a quote from Jaylen
Yeah, that
Brown
was
on stream.
insane. I don't think he thought that
That's
one through.
no, that was a little bit too much.
And dude, Scotty Barnes will never beat the allegations after that.
No, that was a lot. I'll say what I'm fired up for. What am I fired up for, to be honest with you? Because
Definitely not Heat
normally,
basketball.
that's about saying, like, normally my fired ups are always Heat basketball. You know what? Yeah, this actually works perfectly. 1 week from now, by the time I'll next be doing a fired up, so it'll probably mimic itself. I'm fired up that Christmas is a week from now. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of year. I love Christmas music. I love Coquito. I love everything about Christmas. So, yeah, that's what I'm fired up for. I am very fired up. And I will say very easily, and I think it might be similar for us both, what I'm burnt out by is continuing to do this podcast without a Heat win to talk about. Give me one win, at least one. If we lose two but win one, I can turn the blinders on. I could be biased and be like, "Hey guys,
Back
but
to
look
these
at what we did.
finals.
Look at what we did in the win, though. If we could do that again, but if we just keep losing every game, then I can't talk about a win. So just give me one win, just one.
We just need one. Free Chloe,
Just-
man. Free Chloe.
Free Chloe. Chloe's suffering in prison because the Heat won't win a game. Chloe's burnt
Man,
out.
I got her locked up, bro. Treats every like 2 hours, She's got when she gotta use the bathroom, she gotta use it right in the jail cell, man.
Right in the jail cell,
Come
man.
on,
Poor Chloe.
cat, bro.
Yeah. So that's what I'm burnt out by. Are you in the same boat? Are you
Yeah, man. I just want the Heat to win, bro. I just want you know what I'm really burnt out by? Trade rumors that never come to fruition with Miami. I'm really, you know how many stars I've like sat down and I've sat in my bed at night. I'm like, man, like Damian Lillard with Jimmy Butler. No.
If I hear one more reporter say all inclinations are showing that Giannis is going to Miami, I'm gonna lose it. Shut your fucking mouth. I don't want to hear anybody else say it until it's being reported that Giannis Antetokounmpo has been traded to
When
Miami.
I see Bill
Until
Simmons
then,
crying,
yeah, until then, I don't want to hear another, "Oh, it's looking very likely that Miami is the team." I don't know. Very likely is
No.
nothing. That
No.
means nothing to me. I just want to hear from Giannis's mouth that I am so happy to not be on Miami Heat. And then everyone's like, "Ooh, Giannis." Until then, shut the
thank
fuck
you,
up.
Milwaukee, for my time. I really appreciate all the time that I had there. But now I'm focused on Miami and winning an NBA championship.
Boom, we're good. Then we can talk about all we want. All the reporters can say all the stories they had. No more stories. No more until it happens.
Dude, if that pick and that money ends up being what costs us Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm gonna sue the NBA. I'm going to sue
Uh,
the NBA as part
for
of a
emotional
man you
damages,
stand.
personal damages, yeah,
Yeah, for
I'm gonna,
personal, yeah, for ruining my basketball franchise. I will definitely
yeah,
sue the
let me get Greek Freak in South Beach. We have great
yeah,
Greek food. We have wonderful
please.
Greek food down here. He can have a great time. All right. Damn. Normally I don't get fired up about the burnt out, but
But yeah,
those,
man, trying to we need a
those
game.
were those were some things to get burnt out by. George, I appreciate you joining me here. The sun has risen. It is now
Oh,
actually bright and early. Good luck today at work. Have a wonderful time. Appreciate you as always.
all right, brother. Take care.